Hello everybody and welcome to another top 5 records video, and today this is part 2 of the what are good alternatives or even better versions to the 2014 Beatles mono box. Now this has been keeping my mind busy and I've been researching and looking for what are other or better pressings. And I'm just gonna continue where the other video left off. Today I'm gonna start off with Help, and this is the Beatles 2014 Help version from the mono box, and it is a rather good pressing, but it immediately starts off with a difficulty, namely Help never sounded really good. This version sounds good. It's a very good pressing, of course. Might say the sound is a bit tame. Also, I read somewhere, I believe that even Steve Hoffman said that the master tapes of this album sounded muddy. Now, comparing this to, I've listened to some other versions which I was not which I wasn't really into, but comparing this to an original UK first mono pressing, this may sound a bit better. It is a bit better. It has a bit more. It has a bit fuller sound. It's a bit better defined in the mids. It has a bit more punch to it, but again, I agree. This sounds somewhat muddy. This is not much of an audiophile master. Now, I've been looking the past couple of days to get what some may refer to as the best pressing, the German pressing. A Herzu pressing, and some people say that the Odeon pressing is even better from the 70s. I have not been able to get one, but I assure you, I'm gonna hunt it down and I'm gonna compare it. Nevertheless, the original UK mono, I don't believe it's that expensive. I paid 15 euros for this one. Is a very good alternative to the 2014s. Slightly better by a hairline. I mean, it's a tough comparison in this category. Now we're gonna go into a category of which I was rather surprised. What I have here is Rubber Soul, and I'll start off with the mono one, the 2014 mono. The 2014 mono, beautiful pressing, and I have started to compare this one to an original one, a first UK one. As a matter of fact, I compared two first UKs. These are both the -4 from the Dead Wax. And I've got another one here. How do I place them in the video? Both have a -4. Now, what did I tell you about the Dead Wax? I can imagine not everybody wants to know about Dead Wax, but I compared this one with a friend of mine who has a -2, a so-called loud cut. And there is a lot of talk going around in regard to the so-called loud cut. What is the loud cut? The -2 in the Dead Wax. The loud cut is actually, people think it's pressed louder. It's not pressed louder. It's more compressed. Now, why did I call that a loud cut? Because when you put sound louder, naturally, the translation from your ears to your brain is that your head puts the mid-range louder, because that is evolution-wise are the frequencies in which dangerous sounds are. So you should hear those louder than lows and highs. So calling it the loud cut is of course a very nice pun, and people think, oh nice, I want to have it louder because it's more raunchy, it's more heavy, and it is more raunchy and heavy. But it is not a fuller sound stage. As a matter of fact, I have a Dutch loud cut, also a Dutch first pressing loud cut. It are the Matrix Tempers from the UK. It's fun to hear. It has more distortion. It's but don't go with the loud cut. Don't go with the -2. Go with the far superior -4. These sound way better, have much more information in the highs and lows, and also, as a total, a more balanced sound, more detail. They are much better than a -2. Now, compared to this one, I thought I knew which one would win. But this actually is better. The 2014 mono version beats the original. More information in the highs, more information in the lows. It is the superior pressing. Yeah. Of course, an original is a good alternative. The original is also expensive. You might go with a Dutch mono pressing which uses the same stampers. Try to find not a loud cut, because those are not the way to go. But in this case, the 2014 clearly wins. They made the best pressing of the album. We're talking about not enormous differences, by the way. You can enjoy this from an original one. You can enjoy this from a Dutch pressing. The essence remains the same. There are differences in pressings in which the essence of an album changes. That's not the case with Rubber Soul, but the best sounding version is the 2014 version, in my opinion. Now, Revolver. And what I have here is the 2014 version. And what I'm holding here is not a First UK. I have not found a First UK yet. There are people who say, though, that the First UK is better than this one, so go ahead. Still expensive. But I'm going to give you an alternative which might be even more interesting. This is the first Dutch pressing I've been reading a lot about online, because this uses the British stampers. At least it has the same code in the dead wax. And although this 2014 version is a very nicely defined version, it has a very nice balanced soundstage. It has a very clear and sharp sound, a very detailed sound. This Dutch one on Dutch vinyl with the British stampers, British mastering, first mono Dutch, I think it sounds better. I think it sounds better than the 2014 version. It has a better defined bass, not just simply boosted. It's a more clear, present bass, and overall it has a bit of a fuller, sharper, and also not sharper. It has a fuller and livelier sound than the 2014 version. Now this is not an expensive pressing. I believe I paid about 10 or 20 bucks for this one years ago. Might be a bit more right now, but this opens doors. This opens doors, and I'm gonna try to find the first UK mono, but I imagine, although I mean they have the same stampers, both are superior to the 2014. That is my guess. That's what I've been reading online. But I'm also very happy to find out that this Dutch pressing, first Dutch mono, is a tad more better, a tad better. Now we're talking about hairline differences, because the mono box is pretty good. If they are a little bit worse than original pressings or other pressings, or they're a little bit better, just in the case of Rubber Soul, it are differences of hairlines. And it's the same case with what I'm gonna do now. Sgt. Pepper. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I love this record. Now, I have... this is clearly the winner. The first UK, as can be found and read everywhere online, is a beautiful, full-sounding version, brilliant soundstage, clear definition. And the 2014 press, which I'm holding here, is slightly inferior. It sounds in a lot of ways similar to the mastering of the first UK mono. They've done an incredible, incredible job, and it's a great, great pressing. Really, this is a very good pressing. Yet, it does sound a little bit less energetic, a little bit less punch, a little bit less lively. We're talking about minor differences. These are differences of hairlines. Now, am I gonna give, as an alternative to the 2014 mono version, the original UK mono? These are hard to find. These can be very pricey. These can be very expensive, go up to 100 or 150 euros or 150 pounds. I'm gonna give a different alternative, because even slightly better than the 2014 version is again Dutch vinyl. I've got very good Dutch mono copies. These are not as good as the first UK. First UK remains the superior one, but on the second place I put these. They are very good. They sound almost the same, yet lack the sound of British vinyl, which is just a little bit more warm, a little bit fuller, a little bit more punch into them. The Dutch vinyls sound always a little bit more, they don't have that edge, they don't have that much punch, but we're talking about hairlines of differences, and this one is a little bit better than the 2014 version. And the Dutch mono, you can find it for 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks perhaps. It's a great, great pressing. Now, I'm curious, do you agree? Do you disagree? And I'll see you again in part 3 of the alternatives to the Beatles mono 2014 bucks.